Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Mr. Rader, and in this economics lesson, we're going to examine student borrowing and debt. And specifically, we're going to look at a graph and do some data analysis together. This will help you complete the independent work for day 14 of Unit 1 on student borrowing. And in the independent work, your teacher is going to assign you to read one of two texts and you'll need to respond to the following focus questions in small groups. So we have, what are some particular challenges that student borrowers face after completing their undergraduate education? According to the authors, to what extent do the benefits of a college degree outweigh the debt accrued while obtaining a degree? And for that question, you'll want to do a cost benefit analysis. And then for the third question, given what you've learned, what would you advise a friend who's about to attend high school to expect after graduating? So let's take a look at the resource together. The document that's titled Graduates Earnings Growth and Debt Repayment is the document that will have the corresponding data set. And when we look at the context, again, it gives some good overviews as to what the article is going to be about. The Hamilton Project was launched in 2016 by Brookings, a nonpartisan centrist research group, and conducts economics research to develop policy proposals on a variety of topics, including student borrowing and debt. The excerpt below analyzes data on 80 college majors' ability to make monthly loan repayments under the traditional 10-year repayment plan when entering the workforce after attaining a bachelor's degree. Professions requiring advanced degrees like teachers, social workers, doctors, and lawyers are not represented in the findings below. So those occupations won't be in the data. So we're going to scroll down to page 3. And the first thing that you're going to need to be able to do is to zoom in. So if you're on a PC, you're going to press the Control key and plus, and that will allow you to zoom in on your screens. And you want to zoom into at least 200% so that you can easily read the data sets itself. Now, it looks like I zoomed in a little too much, so I'm going to zoom back out so I can see the full graph. Now, on the horizontal or the x-axis, I see 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And I see what looks like a lot of college majors. So I'm going to scroll down to see what those numbers correspond to. And the numbers correspond to how long it will take to repay a student loan in the first year after college. So if we look at it, uh, under the physical and health education teaching, it'll be more about 26% of one's earnings just to make the monthly payments at year one. And if we scroll to the middle, we can see, for example, a psychology major, it's in between these two vertical lines. So if I look up, I see it's a little closer to 15%. So I'm going to estimate around 16 or 17%. And then if I scroll down to the bottom, I noticed that the top majors in terms of paying back the least amount of money, or essentially the highest starting salaries, are all in the engineering field. And we can see that for the highest one, industrial manufacturing engineering, is very close to this line, which corresponds to the 5%. And lastly, before we go to the next page, we can see the average for all majors is in between these two vertical lines, closer to this line though. So we see on average, it takes the typical college graduate about 15% of their total earnings in the first year just to make their student loan payments. Now on the second page, we see what it looks like 5 years later. So what it would take the college major to make their monthly repayments in their sixth year, right? So you'll notice right away that the variables, the numbers have changed. Now instead of being from 0 to 25%, we're now down to at the highest 10%. And we see also that the college majors have changed. So we see in terms of drama and theater arts, it's still about 12, 13%. But we can see for some other degrees that that number certainly goes down. So as we're going through our list, we can see, for example, the physical and health education teaching, which was the highest percentage in the first round, is still relatively high, but it's about 9%, right? So it's a lot lower. And then we look at the all majors, again, it's closer to this line, so it's about 7%. And then if we look back at the engineering degrees, it's ranges from this line, vertical line to this vertical line, so anywhere between 4 and 6%. So one of the takeaways that you should get when studying this particular data set is that the major that you choose in college in terms of being able to pay back your student loans will change over time, right? And then while there may be some careers that initially do not pay very high wages, as you can see when you read the article itself. When you look at the median earnings over a 5 or 10-year period, you can see that some of the majors do show larger gains in overall salary earnings. All right, everybody. I hope you found this video to be useful in terms of helping you with studying charts and doing some data analysis for economics. Stay tuned for the next video in our series.